Oh, good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us. We are here today at Osoyoos Airport. Its designation is Charlie Bravo Bravo 9, and it is a regional airport located in Osoyoos, British Columbia. This is a town we're located right now in the Okanagan region of Canada. We're going to take off here in the Grumman Goose and fly around the lake once, and then we're going to land, and we're actually going to beach it and have a little bit of a lunch picnic. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this beautiful scenery, and I'll tell you a little bit about our location as we fly around. So as I mentioned, this is the Osoyoos Airport. And Osoyoos is the southernmost town in the Okanagan Valley in British Columbia. It's located between Penticton and Omak. The town is 3.6 kilometers. It's about 2.2 miles north of the United States border, and that border is with the state of Washington. And we are adjacent right now to the Osoyoos Indian Reserve. The origin of the name Osoyoos was the word Swiss, pronounced Suyus, meaning narrowing of the waters in the local Okanagan language. The O prefix is not indigenous in origin and was attached by settler promoters wanting to harmonize the name with other place names beginning with O in the Okanagan region. So because of other areas that began with an O, they decided to throw an O on the top of this. But the original name was Suyus, and now it's Osoyoos. I assume that's how it's pronounced, I'm not sure. It's a seasonal area, and in the summer months it swells with seasonal visitors, the population of the town. So some of the history, according to what I was able to read up on the location, the first Europeans to this area were fur traders that worked for the Pacific Fur Company, which makes sense because, you know, the fur trade was very, very popular, and up here in the north is where you get some of the best furs because the animals have to be, you know, able to survive the winters, and so a lot of furs come from up north, which makes a lot of sense. And then of course there was the gold rushes of British Columbia. And then there were the Aboriginal people that have lived in Osoyoos for thousands of years. Open up the window here and take a look out at the lake. I love flying the Grumman Goose, but I gotta tell you, I've come to just love flying anything that can land in the water. I don't know why, but I've just fallen in love with landing in the water. It's just so neat to be able to fly around the world and then land in a lake, bob along, go up on the shore or whatnot, or just sit there and float and enjoy the amazing view. So as in here, we're got the view. We're located slightly in the Okanagan Valley. It looks like the ranching region here was known as the Anarchist Mountain. The town is situated, the town of Osoyoos is situated here on Osoyoos Lake. The lake has a perimeter of about 30 miles, an elevation of about 906 feet, and a maximum depth of 207 feet. The lake's elevation marks the lowest point in Canada of the Okanagan Valley. because of where this lake is located, being the most southernmost point, it's actually the warmest freshwater lake in Canada, which makes it very popular in an area where it's always so cold. The average summer water temperature is around 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's surrounded by beaches, kilometers of beaches, public and private. There's parks, there's picnic grounds. Pretty area to fly around, that's for darn sure. But so much of British Columbia is. Now, because this is part of Canada, we have the Next World update that's going to be released is supposed to have Canada. So maybe I'll come back and fly this area again, and we'll have a comparison between this and the World update. I think that's supposed to come in September. I'm not sure. Right now I'm still working on the Sim Update 10 public test release. And this particular version that I'm flying right now is the latest. It's 1.27.17.0. So we just flew up one side of the lake and now we're returning back down along the other side. And when we get down to the other side here, we're going to do a landing and land in the lake. It's again a really pretty area to fly. A nice day for flying. Just some high-level clouds, not much for wind. Temperature's pretty good, and it's about noon here, so good time of day to fly. And a pretty area to fly in. But I want to take a second here to say to anybody that's still watching at this point, I appreciate subscriptions and I appreciate the comments, especially to let me know that people enjoy what I'm putting up on my channel. It's a nice feeling to have some feedback, and I appreciate it very much. I don't do this to make money. I'm not at a high enough level of of YouTube to make money, and I don't really expect to ever make it to that level. But if some people enjoy watching my videos as much as I do, then I'm happy to know that. Again, I appreciate the comments. And if it helps some of you make a decision on a new system, or not a new system, but a new airplane that maybe I purchased and reviewed and you weren't sure about it and you wanted to see what it looked like in action, or some of the scenery, and or wondering about some of the updates and the driver updates before you actually download and install them, I'm glad that it helps. We're going to start our descent here in the Grumming Goose from Big Radios, a beautiful plane, one of my absolute favorites. I wish I could mount the throttle controls over my head somehow. Someday I might try and do that. But it's still a great plane to fly, no matter where the throttle controls are. In this particular paint, I enjoy the fact that the engine cowlings are all beat up and it looks like it's not a shiny new plastic plane. So trying to control my descent here, I want to stay as close as I can to 100 to 200 foot per minute, or 200 feet per minute, I should say, not foot. Between 100 and 200 feet per minute, and we're at about 200 right now, maybe a little bit over, between 200 and 300. But I'm going to try and keep a controlled descent, and I think that'll help me get a very smooth landing. If I can keep that down Now, obviously, we have to kind of control it as I'm banking. I don't want to go down too fast. So you can see a lot of areas here, a lot of beach area around the lake, a lot of resorts, a lot of parks. Just a couple miles away from the northern border of the United States. We open up the window here again. Windows are a bit beat up, and so I enjoy looking out without the window interfering, because it just makes everything look so much nicer and cleaner. Nice and gentle. We're still maintaining about 200, now we're about 300 feet per minute, maybe a little bit more. Like I said, I want to try and keep it as close to 100 feet per minute, between 100 and 200, at least until we get real close. And then, you know, what we can find out. And then once we land, just look straight up ahead here on the, really right ahead of us directly. There's a little bit of a jetty of land that's sticking out, and we're gonna go past that, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna beach plane on it and get out and enjoy a nice picnic. Like I said, it's just about noon. We went once around this beautiful lake, and really not a bad flight if you consider it. About 15 minutes, I guess, here we're at, looking at total flight time. Yeah, a little, maybe like 14 and a half minutes before we land and beach here. Still coming down at a good speed. I'm happy with this right now. We're still about 100. I think that's a good level to come down at. Very nice. And obviously it's not the level of descent you want if it's a short lake, but this is not a short lake, so I think we're okay here. Even if we have a little bit of a bounce, I don't really mind, because it'll just help slow it down, and it's not a jarring bounce. That wasn't bad, really. And now we'll use the differential throttle here and spin our plane around. Right back to this little jetty of land that's now at our left position. I hope you enjoyed the flight in the Osoyoos Lake area, the region of Okanagan in British Columbia, Canada. It was a nice flight. I enjoyed flying you here to this little spot. It's a nice little secluded spot to get out and enjoy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the skies.